Hi, I'm B of the Beehustlez brand, and I'm back just like I said I was with this sewing video number 1 of the sewing basics tutorial. I have here a basic sewing machine that you can get from Walmart. Pretty much any retail store such as that is literally less than $100. You can get this bad boy and get to sewing. Before we get any further, hit that like and subscribe button, and we're coming right with it. So the sewing machine that I purchased from Walmart is the Brother LX3817. It is a basic 17 stitch sewing machine. You see, we'll do a little pan around of that. Yes. Very lovely. It's cute and it does exactly what it's supposed to do. So we're going to go over here and check out the parts that come with the sewing machine. So when you open your sewing machine, you will find this little baggie. You'll find that in every sewing machine kit you get. They'll give you a setup, some starter things, so you won't have to go out and buy them, but you probably don't know what they are when you open the bag. It's like, what is all of this? So I've made a little diagram here to show you. These bits here are the presser feet. They are the attachments that you put onto the sewing machine to do pretty much different functions depending on what you want to achieve. Here is a blind stitch foot. R. Oops, let's get my hair out of the way now. See that? See, it has that little R on there. This is the piece that you would attach to the sewing machine like so, right at the back. Well, some machines have what to call it? Sorry, y'all. It's a spot on the back that you'll press, and this will automatically drop down. And then others, you might have to screw it off. It just depends. So this, you can just pop off like that. And then you would take, say we want to use the blind stitch foot. That is what we'll use to make a blind stitch, or a stitch where it's not seen from the outside of the fabric. And see, oh, there we go. See, I have this on mine. So if you have the LX3817, sorry for the little brain fart, but the lever is here to lift up and lift down, and that's how you will smudge your foot on there. Others, like I said, there may be a gizmo here that you touch. Either way, we're going to put the J foot back on. That's like our standard foot that we'll use to sew basic stitches straight and zigzag. So we'll just get that back on there. Alright, let's bring it back over. Then we have some more, the overcasting foot. It basically gives a surged appearance to it. And I will put an example of what that looks like in, you will see for each one. A zip foot for zippers. A monogramming foot for monogramming. See, that has that in there. And that's just when you want to make very decorative pieces. Now, all sewing machines might not have that function. Some do. It just depends on really what you're trying to achieve. You don't have to purchase a sewing machine that does monogramming or embroidery. And that's what this is, an embroidery foot. You know, if you're just trying to do basic sewing, make clothing, then you'll be perfectly fine without those. Buttonhole foot. there, back, front. Put that on when you want to make buttonholes. Button sewing. This foot is used to actually sew on buttons. Wow, very neat. It's so tiny. Screwdriver. So there'll be different screwdrivers and things that come with your kit. This is actually for the sewing machine when you need to unscrew certain screws. Which is this, the needle plate screwdriver, disc-shaped screwdriver, which I don't have here, but I also put a picture of that. So this screwdriver here you'd use if you want to loosen something. You see how that sticks right up in that groove, and you can twist it when you need to just do anything like that. Here, if you need to lift this plate up to get in there and clean it out, and yes, you will have to clean it out or you will mess up your sewing machine. Or you can take it to a vendor as well, a shop. They'll do it for you. It won't be cheap. So the best thing to do, of course, to keep from having to get it serviced so often, is to just keep it clean yourself. Spool cap. The spool caps, you see, they come in different sizes. It just depends what size you need for your spool, for your thread. And the spool pin. So let me give you an example of these two in action. These are them in action. See that? Bam, that's the spool pin there. You sit the thread right on top of that and proceed to threading your machine, which we will show that next. And the cap basically just holds that on top. Some machines will have the sideways, where this spool pin is not straight up, but it's actually sideways, and the caps are really important for that, to keep it from sliding off. Next, okay, let's not get in. The other miscellaneous stuff that you'll need. Needles. They actually will give you a little pack with like 3 needles in it. Usually they are universal needles. Then they will give you a twin needle sometimes, which is great for another effect. It gives a clean finish to it. The bobbin. The bobbin. These are these out of everything I've shown you guys, these two are very important, okay? Your thread and your bobbin, because that is how the whole machine is operated. This is how it's threaded. This bobbin goes in the inside here to be wound from the bottom, and then your thread goes at the top. So the function of the sewing machine is taking the top thread and it's taking the bottom thread, and it's putting 2 pieces of fabric together using both. So over here, the last thing, and it just depends on the machine you get. All kinds of. This is what you'll use when you make mistakes. And you will make mistakes, people. Everybody makes mistakes. It is a tedious thing to do, sewing. It can be frustrating sometimes. Did I say frustrating? Okay, whatever. Y'all know what it is. It can be all of that. Look, I can't even put the top back on there. But I have my own seam ripper. This is quite tiny. I have a big guy over here. You'll see these a lot in the store. It reminds you of a crochet needle. Do not get this confused with your crochet needle and go around. You done grab the crochet needle and not the seam ripper. See, just got that pointy edge where you can rip the seams up. And this is some more of my work area. Pins and needles. Definitely will need these to pin your fabric together. You see, this I have is a well, that's not magnetic, but this is a magnetic case. So everything that has a magnetic ability, like these pins, is going to stick right to it as so. And then for your pins that aren't magnetic, and see, this isn't, we're just going to stick it right there though. You can just stick them in your tomato. See, just stick it right in your tomato when you're done. So those are very handy tools that you're going to need. Something to hold your pins, scissors, a seam ripper if one didn't come with your set. So that's that. And now for phase 2, which is threading this machine. And we're going to use here a plastic bobbin today. The one I showed you I stuck over there was a metal one. These are the ones I usually use. This one came with the machine. These are also brother bobbins. Again, you can go to Amazon, Walmart, wherever, and just buy them by the pack. But make sure they are for your machine. Anything that you buy concerning sewing, it has to go with the machine that you have. See, there's a more. I pretty much, good vibes, try out. That's what this is, Beehustlez. One for each color. I mean, you know, the colors I use most often, I'll just have a bobbin already spun and ready to go. This is also very handy to keep your thread on. So next we're about to get into setting up your sewing machine. All right.